Rolling.
Okay, hello everybody there. I'm Ashlyn, and I'll be giving you a quick walkthrough of what you'll be doing for us for our sample type study. So first, what you'll be getting in the mail is 5 boxes very similar to this one right here. This is our example, filled with many tubes. On the top of the lid, it's just an example, you'll say the dog number, and then it'll have the name for you to write the canine's name and its ID number. And it's very important that we put the name and the ID number onto this box because we won't have room on the tubes themselves to label the canine's name and ID. So this will be our reference to know which dog for dog 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So the first thing you'll want to do after you open this box is you'll have the 2 racks, and you want to divvy up the tubes into the proper racks. We have one for non-spiked and one for our spiked samples. So you'll just grab the tubes and you'll give them a quick read. This is our example dog 1, normal blood, and it's also written that you'll be putting 2.5 milliliters of whole blood in it. So we'll take our normal samples and move them into our non-spiked rack. You'll also have the cryo vials with them with corresponding lid colors. Violet goes with violet. We don't have our red tubes in just yet, so we're going to pretend that this one's red. Green goes with green, and our blue ones haven't arrived yet either, but we'll still proceed on with the example. So we'll do the same thing with the spiked samples. Say spiked blood, so we'll put those in this rack, and this will help to avoid any sort of confusion or mixing up of the different samples while you're running the experiment. So now that you've got that in there, we're going to set those aside for now, and next we'll worry about the red top tubes. They won't look exactly like this. They'll be a bit smaller with an all red solid cap, but basically it'll have a label similar to this one that says the dog number. One will say spiked, the other one will say normal, and a quick reminder that you'll be putting 10 milliliters of canine whole blood into these tubes. So we've got our syringe already prepared over here with our fake blood in it just for show. So you're going to want to draw 20 milliliters from each canine. Just a quick reminder that you will want to do each canine just one at a time because we want to get through the first step of the process before spinning in under 15 minutes to avoid coagulation of the blood. And so you'll draw this from the first dog starting, and then you'll divvy it up into each of the tubes.
And show them the mark, the 10 mil mark.
Oh,
Okay, my bad.
but when you get the tubes, they'll be marked on there where 10 milliliters is. I'm just going to use the measurement on the syringe itself. I'm not going to bother with the needle right now. It's at 20 mils right now, so I'll just pump in until I get to the 10 line, and then send into the other. Dispose properly in the biohazard bin.
Mm-hmm.
So with the normal blood, you don't have to worry about that one. You'll just cap that and set it aside for a moment. This is our spiked blood, so this is where the part comes in. You'll get a small tube that's labeled pancreatic extract. We just have PE written on there for now. But that'll be the tube that you'll be spiking your sample with. Now each dog has a different level of pancreatic excess that you'll be spiking with. This dog 1, for example, will have 50 microliters. So we've already have our micropipetter set to the 50 mark, so we know that this will give us exactly 50.
It helps to open the tube.
So you just insert pipette tip, bring it down to the first click, get your 50 microliters, add it to your spike sample, dispose of the pipette tip, recap. Now this, in order to mix the sample, we're going to recap it. We'll invert it several times, probably at least 5. That should give us a nicely mixed sample. So again, this is the part that you'll want to be doing fairly quickly, so it's good that you get familiar with all of your tubes. Make sure you go through, read each label so you're familiar with what will be going inside each. I tried to label them as best as I could for you. So in the next part, we're going to be taking our spike sample. We're going to be adding that to each of our 4, if we had 4 tubes here. They'll have a pink line on them right at where 2.5 milliliters is. So I'll decap those ones.
So you're going to fill them to the line.
Yeah. So we've got 10 milliliters here. We're putting that into 4 aliquots if we had a 4th tube. And so you fill it to the pink line, that will be 2.5 milliliters. So grab your transfer pipettes. Up. Just keep filling. A little bit more. Just to the line there. That's enough. The next one. And I think you get the basic idea. Cap those again. Now you'll do the same thing with the 10 milliliters of normal blood, but since this one's not spiked, you don't have to worry about any extra steps. You just go through and divvying it up into the 4 tubes.